Hello everybody, how are you? It's Casey here. I hope you're well, and I'm kind of super excited to do this event tonight wherever you are. It's probably your evening. If it's not your evening, then it certainly is your probably early morning if you've decided to wake up, if you're overseas and you've decided to wake up at like 5 a.m. or 6 a.m. or 3 a.m. I guess, depending on where you're at. But again, thank you so much for being here. And what we're going to be talking about today, which is kind of exciting, is, of course, the Promo Video Masterclass. That's what it's all about. So if you're getting here, what you can do right now is simply go ahead and put your name and email below and let us know that you can hear us, or me rather. Just go ahead and you should be rolling in the door right now. It looks like the page is up, so you should be seeing Promo Video Masterclass, and there is below there the opportunity to click and download a promo video checklist. So please go ahead and when you come in, grab that promo video checklist simply by clicking here where it says click here, because that's what we're really going to be covering most of today. We're going to be covering about the promo video checklist. So again, you might be rolling in the door right now. If you are, welcome. I'm excited to have you on here. I see some people rolling in, and as I said, you can go ahead and ask any question. Let me know that you are here, and I will respond back to you, so you know that we are doing this live. This is 100% live, and we are go, go, go. Also, you should know, I'm kind of excited, super kind of excited, that because I have a couple of guests that I'm going to be bringing on, and they're going to share their stories of what they've been doing with webinars. Some are brand new, some are have been doing it for a little bit. I mean, it's really great. These two people that I'm bringing on, one is Sonya Ramsey, who has been in our community for a while. She's actually gone through the LaunchStream course, and then I have Jason Caruso, who is a customer of EasyWebinar, who's been using it to do automated webinars, mostly just automated webinars, and I want to share what his success has been of it, and what we're going to do is show what their pages look like, because because we're talking about promo videos. Promo videos are there to help you convert an audience. Okay, that's the goal of a promo video. It's there to help you get someone to take action, a lead to become a lead. Okay, traffic to a lead. Now, I'm going to show both of their pages, and Jason doesn't have a video on it, and that simply means that you don't need to have a video on it. I'm only saying the reason I wanted to highlight both of these guys is because you don't always need a video on your registration page to have decent conversion. But what I tend to like to use is video, because I use video to tell people what they need to be doing, right? I essentially use the video as an opportunity to say, hey, this is what you need to do. This is this is my audience, so if you're my audience, perfect, and so on and so forth. So again, if you're here, and I see a lot of people coming through the door right now, Tony BD, how are you? I see you have a question. Marshall popped something in. Jeff popped something in. Mark popped something in. Let me just quickly check these out. Awesome. You can hear me. Great, great, great. Sounds fine. Yep. Jeff, if the screen is black, go ahead and refresh the page. Okay? Here, I'll say, go ahead and refresh the page. Chances are he came in right when it was going from countdown into the actual event time. So if you are now coming in, yeah, go ahead and come on through. Why is it important to let your audience know the webinars are live? Tony is asking. Well, we'll come on to that. I think it's important that people know that there's a vibrant community thing going on right now. I mean, this is in fact live. In fact, what I'm going to do right now is, first off, share me. Hello, hello. It's Casey. So this is in fact live. So I'm looking down here because this is where I have all my questions coming through. Here's my camera. Here's my mic. Here are my lights. And then I have my presentation behind me, and my presentation we're going to go into. So if you're now getting here, as I mentioned, what you want to do is you want to download that promo video checklist, and you can get that simply underneath this particular video. You'll see it. You can say click here and grab that. Okay. All right, so go ahead and do that, and I'm excited to push on. So let's do that. I'm gonna let you do that, and while you are pulling that up, I'm gonna go in, okay, and pull mine up. All right, and then we're gonna kind of talk it through. So again, as I said, this event is all going to be about promo videos, talking about conversions and how to increase your leads to opt in. And I want you to understand something, that this is actually, this particular class that we're doing is a class that I actually do in LaunchStream, okay? And full disclosure, I want you to fully understand what's happening here. Through this event, I have an opportunity for you to get into LaunchStream, plus some awesome bonuses and some fast action bonuses when you act today. Now, if you don't know what LaunchStream is my coaching program that talks about the 4 steps to the event launch blueprint, okay? Because I don't just talk about live events. I talk about the power of live events, the power of broadcast events, the power of timed replays, and then, of course, the power of automated events. And, of course, I have 2 guests here who do automated events, and Sonya just started doing live events, and she's doing quite well with it. So I'm kind of excited to see her growth process through this. So full disclosure, as I mentioned, you will have an opportunity to get LaunchStream, and I will be talking about the 4 steps of the event launch blueprint. But before I do, I wanted to go in and show you and talk to you about your promo videos, okay? What you can do to make your promo videos help you to get people to convert, to get people to opt in, all right? So if you have yours up, go ahead and pull it up, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to get mine, and as soon as we're done going through this little script, I'm going to share with you a few videos just so you can understand what they're doing and how they took the script, and then I ask that you leave any questions that you may have about promo videos, about if you're using video in your business, if you're not using video in your business. I welcome you to put all that information through, and then I'm going to share Sonya's and Jason's pages so you can see some effective landing pages for webinars. Okay, I'll also show you a little hint here into 4.0. I think I can see, like in my camera, I have the guy right there. I'll show you in my I'll show you a sneak peek into 4.0, EasyWebinar 4.0, which all launch streamers get at no additional cost. Okay, so I'll give you that's all the things that you're going to be getting here today on LaunchStream TV. Not that we have a TV at the end of this, but okay, let's jump in and start looking at the promo video. I'm going to share my screen here, so let me just quickly do that. Okay. All right. So here we go. Okay, so now you should be seeing my screen, and as I already mentioned, if you have any questions at all, please feel free to put them in the chat box, in the box below, and I will be getting to your questions, okay? Such as Craig and Abby are talking right now, and Jay and Dudley. Excellent. Good to have you guys here. Good to have you guys here. Okay. And of course Mark is here. So we have a lot of people showing up and coming through the door right now, and so let's push on here and go into, where am I here? Dun, da, da, da. Here. No. Where are we at? Da, da, da. I lost my promo video checklist. Here it is. Okay. Perfect. Okay, so now let's go through this and talk about what it's all about. So I used the promo video checklist when I did my Creative Live this last year, and I talk about promo videos as a great way to let people know what's happening. Okay, let them know what they're going to be experiencing, and I used it in this way to bring people into a Google Plus event. However, you can use the same stuff that we're teaching right here for your registration pages on your webinars, okay? I just want you to be aware of that, all right? So let's start talking, okay, that a promo video can not just promote one event, but a series of events, okay? Because you have to start thinking globally here. You can start thinking a lot differently here, like in the sense that you could be creating recurring web shows with this sort of concept, okay? And so just depending on what your niche is, depending on how you're going to apply this stuff, there's a lot of options and opportunities you have here. So, as I said, a promo video can just promote one event or many events, like a series. And if you're doing a one-time event, generally speaking, you want to be pretty specific. But if you're doing a series of events, it should be non-specific, but still with a really strong call to action. And so if you're doing like an automated webinar, you obviously want to be careful and never mention, dates if or times in your webinars, because you may be streaming those out in different time zones, et cetera, et cetera. Now, however, maybe you do a weekly webinar, a weekly automated webinar every Tuesday at 2 p.m. Well, if that's the case, then you can obviously say that in your video, because then it will just help people to understand what they're getting, when they're getting it, and when they should be coming on. So here's a quick example for a series show. Okay. Hi, my name is Casey Zeman, your host of the Big Results Show, where every week we find the most successful entrepreneurs from all different industries who share their cool life hacks, tools, and unique gifts to leverage big results in their business. They'll share their challenges and what simple tweaks allowed them to overcome these challenges, and how you can do the same in your own business and life. So join me every Tuesday at 2 p.m. Pacific Standard, and let's achieve big results together. Okay, so that's an example of a series show, okay? But now let's go into detail on the webinar or sales presentation template, because I think this is really the one that you guys are really wanting. So let me zoom in if I can here for you, so you can get a real clear picture of this, okay? So your webinar or sales presentation template event, this is where you're going to start with. What is the big, and I want you to write this down if you need to write this down, okay? What is the biggest problem that your audience is facing, okay? Think about that. What is the biggest problem that your audience is facing, all right? And then you're going to go into your intro. And in your intro, you're going to add things like social proof, okay? Such as, why are you the expert? And number 3, this is where you tell them what they're going to learn and how you're going to solve their problem, okay, through the bullet points. Bullet 1, 2, 3, 4. I would suggest probably having 4 bullet points is pretty standard, and I'll ask my guests what they're doing and what they think when we bring them in. But 4 bullet points are pretty standard, and you're going to be wanting to solve the problem. Now, some people do this in a couple different ways. They show these 4 bullets, and they either show they either inspire, show the positive element of it. So, if you learn this, then you'll be able to do this. Or they show sort of the negative, right? They show what you're losing if you don't do this, all right? Me, I like the aspirational bullet points. I like the, hey, this will help you achieve this. Maybe doing one that kind of shows the negative of if they don't do this, but don't overburden with too many of the negative reasons as to why someone should be doing something. Like, you're losing money if you don't do this. Did you know that every it's the scare tactic, but I agree with it to a degree, but at the same time, you don't want to do it all the time. You want to try to have things that they can aspire to. Show them the hope, okay? So anyway, the number 4 is call to action, which reiterates the problem, okay? The call to action in the video. All right, now that's the template. It's a very simple thing, just these 4. But let me go in now and show you a script that I wrote out that highlights these 4, okay? And I'm going to show you then a variation on this. All right. So number 1, are you a photographer? And this is number 1 is what? Biggest problem, right? Here we go. Are you a photographer who's been struggling to get business because of the sea of steep competition you're faced with? Number 2 is social proof, remember? An intro. Hi, my name is Casey Zeman, author of YouTube Revealed, and I've worked with Fortune 500 companies and small businesses on building authority and engagement, and I want to bring these unique and untapped strategies to you. That's number 2. Number 3 is, I'm holding a special limited time training where I reveal how to create an emotional connection to your audience that will separate you out from the competition, how to stop running around like a chicken with its head cut off, taking every job that pops up. Instead, how you can position yourself as the authority in your specific niche and field and take only the clients you want. I'll show you the 3 B's for building a profitable and consistent online community with your brand. And finally, the 5 most important assets for tripling your growth that you can create once that can work for you over and over again. So if you've been frustrated and worried about where your next gig is coming from, join me at 2 p.m. PST, April 5th, where I spill the beans to this unique system. Register on this particular page. Okay, so that is essentially me taking those pieces and putting them into a script form. So the last one was, of course, call to action, right? And so I say this: if you've been frustrated and worried, remember I still talk about the pain, right? And then I talk about the call to action to join me, right? Now I want to say one more thing at this point. If you are using something like EasyWebinar for your registration pages, here's an awesome opportunity for you to take number 4 and throw a variation on it, which would look something like this. And I don't have it written down, but let me say it. So if you've been frustrated and worried about your next gig, where your next gig is coming from, join me at 2 p.m. Pacific Standard, April 5th, where I spill the beans to this unique system. And when you come through now, I have a free gift ready for you as soon as you register that will set you on this track, you know, and then you talk about what that free gift is. So the cool thing about EasyWebinar is on the thank you page, you can have a free gift show up, right? And you can incentivize them to share news of the event to unlock that free gift on the thank you page. And what I do in my videos on my registration pages is I tell them that they should register for the event so they can learn X, Y, and Z, but also as soon as they come through, I have something that is an additional thing that's going to help them achieve their goals, right? So it's that additional thing that they can do right now. I give them instant satisfaction, right? That's the idea for really getting those people to take instant action, is to give them instant gratification, instant something they can do instantly, like get a free gift. So that's when I say, you know, in my videos I tend to say, come on through, register now, and you'll learn X, Y, and Z. And when you register now, I have my Your Story report that will help you to tap into your story, which will in turn help you to understand who your audience is so you can make more money. Something like that, right? That way you're now starting this nurture process with them as you continue on with them, okay? This is where the nurture process comes into place, and it is awesome, all right? Because this is the power of running an event funnel, is that now you have an opportunity from the registration page to the thank you page to the email sequences that you send out to connect on a deeper level with that community member. Because after they read your book, or after they read your your quick gift, that just brings them closer to you. And just start thinking outside the box. I mean, you could offer them a video course even before the event starts, so that by the time the event happens, they're ready to go, they're interested, they want to buy. They want to come through because now they're warmed up to the possibility already. Okay, so just think about that. I hope that helps. And again, as I said, go ahead and put some questions in, and I will obviously be answering them. So here's a little bit of a variation here, right? And you can do this for yourself. Just think about how you can do this. So now I'm starting with the social proof instead of the biggest problem. So this is how I'm saying, or actually I'm combining the two, excuse me, in the first sentence. So here's what I'm saying here. My name is Casey Zeman, author of YouTube Revealed, and if you are a photographer and you've been struggling to get your business in the sea of steep competition you're faced with every day, I'll show you a simple online strategy that virtually no one is doing, which will easily separate you out from the competition. Okay, so and then it continues on. In this special limited training, I'm going to reveal the 3 B's for building a profitable online community. So join me April 5th, where we're going to examine these strategies and the best ways for your extreme growth this year. So this is kind of a shorter one, right? It's kind of a shorter, like this is probably 20 to 30 seconds. And your promo videos, here's the deal. I would say a promo video should be about a minute long, okay? Minute to less long. That's what I suggest. Maybe 2 minutes if you really have a lot to say, but in my opinion, you know, the page will help you sell, and the video is just there to kind of be that additional influencing tool, okay? So you can obviously make it shorter if you want, just like how we did right there. Okay, cool. So I mean, this is really the gist of that promo. Now, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you, I'm not going to go and show you my video because chances are you've probably seen that 1,000 times before. What I will do is show you a couple other videos like this one. Do you see this particular screen right now? Let me just open this up here. Should be able to see this. This is we're in right now, and you should be able to see this. This is Dennis, okay? And Dennis was at Creative Live with me, and while we were at Creative Live, he took the script that I gave him, and the next day he came and recorded this, okay? Now this is rough, okay? This is rough. I mean, you have to understand something that we were just doing this to kind of show how quickly you could do it. But here's the deal. Look at how long it is. It's 1 minute long, and he did this in one take. This guy did this in one take. I was so impressed by him. So let me quickly play this. And again, if you can't hear it, just let me know, and I'll come on and kind of get in there and just see if there's any questions on anything. Okay, so let me play this very quickly, and I'm gonna have to bring my mic down over here to the computer so you can hear it. But let me click the faithful play button.
Did you know that 80% of all jobs are never advertised? That's right. For every job you see online, there are 10 or more jobs that are never posted. These jobs comprise what is commonly referred to as the hidden job market. My name is Dennis Thompson. I'm founder and managing partner of Thompson Associates, an executive search and career management firm located in Pleasanton, California. I'm also author of 4 Degrees to Your Dream Job. 4 Degrees is based on the premise that you are 4 degrees or less away from the decision maker who can hire you into the job you want, even if that job is not yet advertised or created. If you'd like to learn more about how you can find your ideal job, please join me for a free webinar I'm hosting called Tapping the Hidden Job Market. You'll learn how to choose your ideal next step, how to build a target list of companies you want to work for, how to identify decision makers that can hire you, and how to establish relationships with those decision makers. If you're interested, please go ahead and click on the register button, and I'll talk to you again soon.
Okay, that was Dennis the Menace, not Dennis the Menace. No, that was Dennis, and he did a great job, I thought, because he was able to really kind of tap into all of these elements. Like, for instance, he starts off with, which is really great, and I'm going to share what Sonya does because she does something similar. He shares a statistic.
Of all jobs are never advertised.
Did you know that 80% of all jobs are never advertised? That's a pretty powerful concept, because what he's doing right now is he is connecting to you on an intellectual level, and he's going to then start connecting with you on a heart level, right? Because that's the power of, that's what you should be doing in all your videos. You know, your webinars are supposed to do that, but also your videos are supposed to do that too. Anything that helps people kind of make a decision. Well, you know, putting their name and email, that's a decision. Putting down their money on a credit card, that's a decision. So every decision, it's always nice to have you know, something that relates to not only the heart but also the intellect. Okay. You know, such as statistics, or such as, you know, bringing people on who've also had success, so they can rationalize why they're doing something, such as buying a product or service, right? So this is what he starts with. He talks about the actual statistic.
That's right. For every job you see online, there are 10 or more jobs that are never posted.
For every 10 jobs you see online, there are 10 or more jobs that are never posted, right? So he's talking about, and he understands his audience. He's talking to people that are looking for their dream job, right? And he's a recruiter, and that's what he starts talking about. I've written this book, and so on and so forth. You know, through this video, we just did this in the studio, and I threw in one of my lower thirds here, you know, just to show them what I could do with kind of screen flow. I put in a lower third, and you know, as soon as he started talking about his book, what I would have had here is like an image for his book. But that's not for a video where you want someone to register. I would maybe put his book, but I wouldn't have a clickable link to the book, right? I would just put the book there, right? So anyway, this is just a nice example that, you know, this is where you could add an image here, and that's why I had him put himself on the side because this kind of goes back to that kind of law of thirds, if you will, right? He's kind of to the side, and this area gives him the opportunity to put more stuff there, right? So I see we have Lauren, who just came into our room with us, everybody. Lauren is here. And Lauren, if you could mute yourself right the moment, and in a little bit, I'm going to come to you and start talking to you, because Lauren, everybody, is one of our students of LaunchStream as well. So she just came in the room, and let me see if I can mute for you, Lauren. There we go. I think yeah. Okay, there we go. You are now officially muted, I believe, right? So everybody should still be able to hear me, and thank you so much, Lauren, for coming in. I can't wait to talk to you. Okay, so let me just push on very quickly. And you know, this is essentially, he's talking about 4 steps to his dream job, and he has the call to action at the end here, right? And he's talking about the one thing I would say.
4 degrees to your dream job.
He's talking about being an author. That's the social proof.
4 degrees to the job you want. Find your ideal job. Look for it. How to identify decision makers that can.
So he's talking about the bullets. Now there's one thing that Dennis didn't do. He didn't talk about himself. Do you notice that? I didn't get any bit of information about who Dennis is. I did. I mean, he said, I work for this firm, right?
My name is Dennis Thompson. I'm founder and managing partner.
Founder and managing partner,
Thompson
right?
Associates,
Thompson Associates.
Executive search and career management firm located in Pleasanton, California. I'm also author of 4 Degrees to Your Dream Job. 4 Degrees is based on the premise that you are 4.
So you know, it's good, but the only thing I would say is that I never got the feel. I found out that he was a professional, but I'd love to get his backstory as to why he even wrote this. Why he even approached this concept, and maybe it's because, you know, he wanted to empower people to find the hidden job market, you know. So I wanted to hear that. I wanted to hear, you know, the reason I put this together is because there are so many people that are out of work in the world today, and they don't have to be. You know, and so, you know, and then you can kind of that's a terrible example, me just doing what I just did, but I would have liked to have heard that a bit, you know. And again, go ahead and, you know, you guys can start putting your feedback in. Go ahead and, you know, put that in the chat box, your feedback and thoughts on that, and I'll come into that. Okay, so let's look at now. This is Jason's page, which is pretty awesome. And but before I go into Jason's page, let's look at Sonya's page, because I wanted to continue talking about the kind of promo video concept. And the promo video is kind of it's the meat of what we're talking about right at the moment. So I wanted to share her page. Now, of course, these are both templates of EasyWebinar, and immediately, without looking at the video, what I really like about her page is that she tells me who her audience is right away. Right at the very top here, even before the top of the headline, she says, attention career women who are looking for professional fulfillment, right? She immediately tells me who she's trying to attract, who she wants to attract. And this is really important to understand, because you want your customers and your prospective customers and audience to know who they are. I mean, that's why it's helpful for you to list out who you want to attract, okay? This is all entirely up to you, based on who you want to bring into your community. You know, such as do you want someone who is, you know, maybe is in a particular income bracket. You know, all of these are up to you, and you have the opportunity to be able to have your registration pages and landing pages reflect that. Okay. So then she goes into a nice headline which says, discover how to go from employee to entrepreneurship using your passions without quitting your job right away. And this is even going in deeper with who her audience is. Women who are in a career right now, who are a bit nervous of getting out of their jobs right now because they have to support their families, because it's, you know, it's a very comfortable income, you know, but they're just not satisfied. And I gain that from these these headlines. I gain that information, and I get even more from the video itself. And let's just look down here. That, you know, this is awesome copy, and maybe I would love for you guys to even take a look at it. You can go to SonyaRamseyOnline.com and probably check this out if you guys wanted to. She has a link that will link to the webinar. So Sonya, sorry, I'm pimping your landing page out, but let's play her video. And you know, these are positive construction stuff. This is all we are. Everybody here is nurturing, so no one's gonna like be put on like a hot seat that's like gonna burn them. Okay, don't worry. I want to actually talk about what she's doing awesome and just a couple things that she maybe could do differently. But this page is really great. So let's play her video. Actually, I'll just refresh the page, which will
I'm Sonya
play the
Ramsey,
video.
author of the Amazon bestseller, The Destiny Deception. In the September 2014 edition of Money Magazine, they shared the results of a poll where they asked their readers, how do you feel about your job? 42% said that the job was just okay. 20% said that they cannot stand your job. And 7 out of 10 said that they're not really interested in your job. If you know deep down that there's more that you can be doing in your professional life, but you're not sure how to get there or what it is, I invite you to join us for the free webinar entitled Professional Reinvention and How to Go from Employee to Entrepreneurship. In this webinar, you're going to learn how to take your talents, your gifts, your passions, and start your own business without having to quit your job right away. You'll also learn the exact steps to creating a profitable business without having to take years to do so. You'll also learn the real reason for starting a business, and it's not just about money. You'll also discover how to take the content from this webinar and put it into practice right away, even if you don't buy anything from us, and so much more. So to join us, enter your name and email address on the right, and I can't wait to meet you. God bless.
Bum, bum, bing, bum, bum, bum. Awesome. Okay, so that was the lovely Sonya. And a couple things about that video. She does exactly what we had talked about, right? Very first thing she does, check it out. Very first thing, boom, there's the magazine, right? She talks about she's now talking to your head right now, to your logic, right? Brilliant stuff. And she continues on. Let me turn the volume back up on this so I can hear it.
Magazine. They
shared the results, right?
Down that there's more that you can be doing in your professional life, but you're not sure how to.
And she really starts diving in. This is who I'm attracting. So this is a really great video, and you just heard that, right, everybody? You heard it, right? What do you think about it? Go ahead and put that in the chat, and we'll look at that in a minute. But the things that I can say about this is that it really does touch on all those things, those elements that we look at when we're trying to make a decision. I know exactly who my audience is, and the only thing I would say, Sonya, the only couple, I'd say two things, and we've talked about this before. The very first thing is I would like to hear a bit more about your story. I know it's like I just said it about Dennis. You are an author. In fact, guys, she is a best-selling author on Amazon, and just recently, I think, in the last few weeks, she's done that. And as soon as she launched her book out. So I know that you're an author, and I know who you're trying to attract. But the only thing I don't know a lot of at this point is who you are, like your story, right? A bit about your story. Like why you decided to do this, why you decided to do this in the first place. Like, I was unfulfilled in my own job. My husband and I just did not have the time to be with each other, my family, my kids. I wanted more time. Yes, I loved my job, but it wasn't my true passion, and I wanted to get back into that. And have you ever felt scared or nervous to move into your passion project while you've taken this road that has been something that you've been told to take and you've been very successful with, but it just doesn't feel right? And that's what I've done, and that's what I've been through. And so, Sonya, as I think you progress here and kind of move into going from, and I think that you might still be doing your full-time job while also doing this, right? So I think while you move through that progression, and I get it, when you're kind of doing a full-time job and you're still doing this, you don't ever want to say that my job is bogging me down, right? Because it's kind of difficult to do that. You can't just say my job is bogging me down. You can't put that out there in the world, because what if someone from your job sees that, right? I get that, but I'm just wondering if there's a way to show a bit more about your story. So I just want you to brainstorm that kind of idea, and I'll maybe bring you on in a second here. But the second thing that I would say in this particular video is that the sound is a bit too loud, or not the sound. I'm sorry. The audio. No, what am I saying? The music. Sorry, the music is a bit too loud. But aside from that, I love this video. I love what you look like. It's just such a well-shot video, and you touch on all of the points. So I'm only just nitpicking because of the fact that you've been a LaunchStream member, and I'm just I'm just going into more detail with you. So Sonya, are you there? Can you hear me talk?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes, I hear you. Guys, can everybody hear Sonya? Think so. Yeah. So what do you feel about that? What do you feel about the concept of sharing your story?
Yeah, no, I totally agree with you on that. I mean, there's so many things, being new to all of this, there's so many things you're trying to do at the same time. I shot the video myself without any help. But
Right.
I know for a fact, and I'm going to do this again, but, there's that expression that imperfect action beats
Absolutely.
perfect inaction. So
Yes.
my thing was to just get it out there because I just released the book and I had some momentum and I wanted to start doing the webinars. I had the software for so long. I was one of the original owners of the software.
That's right.
I never used it,
All right.
and realized this could do so much and save me so much time and reach a much broader audience. It was time to do something, which was why I invested in LaunchStream. No regrets, loved it, but I just released the book and it was time to get this video out. And I know definitely the music was a bit loud, so I'm going to turn that down, but also I definitely want to incorporate more of my story. There's nothing that I would say publicly that I wouldn't say on the job, so it's who I am, so I don't have
You know what? Here's something and you don't have to change this video. This is the brilliant thing about it. You don't have to change this video at all. Just shoot B-roll and a voiceover for the B-roll.
Okay.
Like almost like you with your family, you walking down the street or something. I mean, that's where and it opens up some things. Like where you could potentially be, just shot someone shooting you at dinner with your family, and it really kind of touches on what a career woman would like to have more of, right?
Right.
You know what I mean? And you can talk about how that was what you wanted. And how you're there, so I think that, and that can be 30 seconds of additional information in this particular video, and that's it. You know what I mean? I mean, it doesn't have to be that much, but just those little tweaks that can show them, oh, okay, so, show them kind of your story, your backstory, because you're doing a really fabulous job with positioning yourself socially, or rather as an expert, from the social proof of the book, and you have such a light about you on the camera, and I think that, and again, we are always growing, we're always changing, everybody. It takes a lot to actually tweak and change a video, so don't feel like you have to go do that overnight. These are just things that you kind of, when you start learning more and more of kind of this concept, it helps with how you're going to tackle it initially, right? How you're going to tackle a project initially when you have the more knowledge about how you want to approach it, right? So this is perfect for what you're doing. It's absolutely perfect for what you're doing. People are coming to it. They're registering for it. So it's working for you. It's really great. So I think those couple tweaks, eventually down the road, it doesn't have to be tomorrow, it doesn't have to be a month or 2 or 3 months from now even, but eventually down the road, you may want to change that up a bit and just share a little bit of who you are and why you even decided to go down this path, right?
Great. No, that's great advice. Thanks.
Okay, cool. All right. Well, so now I want to show, let's change gears here, switch gears, and show without a video. And, this is Jason, who's also on with me. Jason is one of our EasyWebinar customers who he is a YouTuber, actually, who's built up a really successful YouTube business through they're a bakery business. And if you guys have kept up with my emails, I interviewed Jason, or rather we had a conversation at one point that we videoed on Google Hangout, where we talked about the Woodland Bakery blog and what they're doing and what he's doing with webinars. So Jason uses this template for one of his webinars. He also uses another one, and just to look on at what he's doing here, he starts off at the top, and this is what he sends out to his community, but also I think he uses this and another page for Facebook traffic. And Jason, maybe when you are able to, you can unmute yourself and just come on in, and we'll start going through this. What I really love about what he's doing is, you know, he kind of tells you what's happening at the very top. Free online training presented by Jason Caruso of the woodlandbakeryblog.com. And so he's positioning that as his social proof, right? He's saying, this is why I'm an expert. Go to that blog, and you'll see how much stuff we have coming through, right? And then he says, learn step by step how to create your own six-figure blog, right? Register for this workshop. So this is, I like this page, and we're going to look at another page that he's put together using Optimized Press 2 with EasyWebinar. Okay, so let me quickly jump over there. Now, this is what I really love that he's adding here. And of course, he's adding much more social proof right here, right? And of course, he's got the bullets. So, free webinar workshop. Learn how to create a six-figure blog around your passion, right? Claim your spot. And he talks about why he's the expert. I'm the co-founder of woodlandbakeryblog.com, one of the fastest-growing baking blogs on the web. In just 18 months, we've racked up over 117,000 YouTube subscribers, over 23,000 Facebook fans, 10,000 daily blog visitors, and roughly 29,000 email subscribers. And in this free online workshop, I show you exactly how we did it. So he's highlighting free on a couple spots here, and it's great because that will help to get people into the event. Free webinar, as you can see here. And then he talks about the bullets, which, you know, the biggest problem that people have if they're trying to base a business on their passion is, where do I get the traffic? And he's really showing how to build an audience with a blog, how to make money from your passion, and how to make money from your audience. Okay? Their secret formula for massive growth, and how action takers can help with their blog, right? Can get help with their blog. So he's actually, this is kind of a call to action right here, right? He's actually saying, hey, if you're an action taker, you can get help with your blog, which means that he's going to be offering something at the event, right? So now he has the claim your spot, and this is a EasyWebinar registration box right here, right? This is one of our widget codes right here, right? And you could register, and so this is great. I love this. I love both of these actually. They both have two different styles to them, and I think you've been testing these out. Jason, let me introduce you and just say thank you for coming. How are these pages working for you, and you know, how are webinars working for you right now?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, you guys can hear them? Okay. Yeah.
Thanks for having me. I'm happy to be here. So, as you know, I'm testing a lot of different things, and I'm just, you know, the whole six-figure thing was something that I was like throwing around, and I found that if you don't sort of give people a real sort of kick in the pants as to why they really should be there, they don't come. And when I remove the six-figure part of it, I find that people just don't react as well to the actual invite. So they'll join, and then for whatever reason, without that six-figure, it's just not that important to them. So right. I've tested and tried to, you know, all different angles, and I don't like to, you know, I try my best not to be misleading, and that's why I say, like, I'll show you how we do it, because I don't want to, make people like think that I'm promising them that they're going to start a six-figure blog if they watch the webinar. You know, so
right.
I just want to show them how we did it. You know, we went from 0 to, you know, well into the six figures in 18 months. And, you know, you've seen my webinar. I sort of go through that and explain it all. And this particular page that you're looking at right now on cold traffic is converting somewhere around 12%. But that's not for unique visitors. That is for, you know, total visitors. So, you know, I'm guessing the number's a little higher for unique visitors.
Yeah, so you're saying that's 12%, right?
Yeah, so when I use lead pages, they're telling me that I get like 20% conversion rates when I do stuff like this, but it's on unique visitors, right? It's if they come back 10 times, they count that as one visit.
Yeah.
So the conversion rate is so much higher, right, than what it really is. So 12% for me is including those people coming multiple times.
Right, right. So it could be potentially even 20 to 24 if you think about it. Like they're coming more than one time. Yeah.
Yes. I definitely found that adding sort of what we've done in the 18 months, like where you see it says, you know, in just 18 months, I really like seeing that work. Because it's like we've spoke about this, it's really hard to argue with numbers, right? And I actually in the webinar show those numbers, so it's not like, and you know, anybody can look us up. I mean, it's real easy. You can go to woodlandbakeryblog.com and then click on any of our social icons, and that stuff is there. And quite frankly, I think we're up to 119,000 or 18,000. I mean, so it's definitely something that's really helped get people in the door, for sure. And you know, personally, I wasn't one of those kind of guys that thought like what you say matters. But you know, I'm spending a lot of money on on Facebook, and I'm really finding that it truly does matter what you say.
In terms of how you position what you say?
Yeah, like I said, the six figure, when it's not there, the conversion rate is much lower. When I put it in there, it automatically just magically jumps.
Right.
You know, when I remove the social proof, I don't see as many people, you know, joining.
Right.
So, well, yeah.
Yeah. And you know, it's a really good point. I mean, you know, you want to if you are thinking about ideally what you'd want to have as an audience member, that's what should be expressed on your page itself. Like, you know, people want to know not only how to build a blog, but they want to know that you're actually someone who's doing and making money from your blog. And, you know, coming out of the gate with social proof, showing that you are, is, you know, by first saying, you know, learn how to create a six-figure blog, join me, show you how we did it. You know, you're saying how we do it and how we do it every day, but then you're also showing, obviously, what you've been able to accomplish over the 18 months. And of course, then you kind of go into the detail with the bullets. So this is great. Let me ask you, you know, the very first, you've said, you know, can I quote you on some of the things you said recently?
Yeah.
Okay. Now you said on your automated events you are doing anywhere from like, I don't know, 300 to 500. Is that using Facebook ads and stuff?
Yes, that's using Facebook. I'm doing about $300 to $500 a day. If anyone heard our conversation, the first one that I did was 14,000, but that was people who knew me.
That was to your list, right?
Right, that was to my list. So, you know, I expected that to be pretty high. But for, you know, cold traffic, which, you know, Facebook traffic really isn't always cold traffic, right? Because if you're retargeting to people who've gone to your website or gone to your
exactly.
It's not cold. But to cold traffic, I would say, you know, we're doing about, you know, 2 to 500 a day. It really just varies, you know, as to how many people I get in there, how much money I'm spending, and all that.
Yeah, and you're always testing and tweaking. And you had asked me one day, you're like, is it? Do you have a consistency with how many Facebook leads you get and how many sales you get with through Facebook? And I have to say that it's not always consistent because Facebook decides when they're going to use your ad spend, right? And if they're using your ad spend on a particular day more than usual, then that's when you'll probably see a shoot up of more sales. Or if I guess it depends on maybe if they saw you more than once. Like maybe if you're retargeted them and this is the second time they've come to the webinar, or maybe you retargeted them and they've gotten, say, to learn about you on the blog, but now they're coming to the event and you're much warmer. So I think it's hard to say. Like if you scaled it up even more, chances are that you'd then have some of those lower days would be higher, and then it'd be probably consistent all the way through. But you're right, it does vary. It does vary. So
yeah, I mean, what I would definitely say to people who are just starting is that expect the first few days you're not going to see much in sales because you're sort of building that list and you're building that audience to come to the webinar, right? So like the first 3 days I sort of like spent money but didn't make a dollar. But after that, after sort of the days started filling up, is when I started to see 5, 400, 300, and now I actually just raised my budget, my daily budget, to $150, and going from $100 to $150 per day, I'm seeing a massive difference in the registrations.
Can you share any of the registration numbers, like what like a daily registration would be, or you don't have to? I mean, you can keep.
Oh, look, anything if it can help people. Because let me tell you something, I asked you a question because I wasn't sure myself what the norm should be. So, I think it's beneficial for people to hear. When I was spending $100 a day, I was getting a 3.5 or 3.8% click rate on Facebook, and then I was signing up anywhere between I would say 20 and 35 per day. That's 20 or 35 actual emails. That wasn't like registrations for that particular day. It was, how many emails in that day that I got, if that makes sense.
Right. I gotcha. Yeah. So you're collecting 20 to 35 essentially per day, and they're coming through, and they're still having to click on these guys, right? To register, right?
Well, I have a 2-day. I don't have a block date. I have a 2-day webinar that 2 days out, automated webinars, and so they can potentially pick today, depending on what time that they come, or tomorrow, whatever. But I would say at an average of like 20 to 35 per day, were giving me their picking a day and giving me their name and email address.
Yeah. That's perfect. So, and I like that you're doing 3. This is kind of what I've been testing, and I've noticed this as well, that when you're doing an automated webinar, yeah, generally speaking, going with like 3 of them, 3 times, and going with 2 days. This is a great way to do it. So, not blocking the day, and what we talk about when we're saying block the day, it's October 1st now. So if I blocked one day in EasyWebinar, October 2nd would be the first day that would show up here, right? But he's not blocking the day. He's not putting a block on any day. So the very first time someone can register is today, and then of course they can register tomorrow. So I like this, and I've noticed this as well. So if you can see this here with EasyWebinar, it's gonna show the next available time, right? So it's not gonna show those times of 10 or 2. It's now gonna show the next available time with EasyWebinar. So EasyWebinar is kind of cool in that regard. Other software is going to not give you all that, kind of flexibility and kind of like just dynamic changes. So anyway, that's cool.
And that overlay for me has really helped in terms of the conversion.
Well, you know what? Let me actually show you guys something. So this is one of the new templates for the 4.0 version that is going to be rolled out soon. 4.0 is going to be available to everybody who becomes a LaunchStream member. You get it automatically. We are going to be charging something for accessing the 4.0 because it's brand new templates in a template library. We're also going to be asking that you give us potentially designs, and we will design them for you. So, you know, for instance, you know, this particular design that you have here with Optimized Press 2, we could take this and we could even well, actually, you probably don't need to do it because you're already doing this, right? But you know, if anybody had a particular design that's worked for them, we will certainly take it and put it into a system. So anyway, this is one of the newest templates, and you can have a video. You don't have to have a video, and of course, this is the two-step opt-in process. The brilliant thing about this particular box is that it switches out dynamically. If you're going to do a series of automated webinars or one-time live events, whatever you're doing, it automatically switches things out. So it's kind of cool. So I just quickly wanted to show you one of the templates that we have here. In fact, we could register if we wanted to kind of go through and see.
And Casey, if you don't mind, while you're doing that, I would personally, and I don't know how anyone else feels, but personally, I would much rather use the templates in. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you. What are you saying?
I would much rather use the templates in EasyWebinar because you can track all the data, like how many people view the page, how many people sign up, and that data to me is worth more than really anything else. So if I do that on Optimized Press 2, I lose some of that because I don't really get the views.
Right. Yeah, you're right, and that's something that, you know, with these new templates, I think you guys are going to like them. We have a two-step opt-in, and then we have a double presenter template that we're rolling out, and new templates are going to be coming in after that. And 4.0 gets you access to this whole template library that we're rolling out, along with new features. But the template library will always be adding to. With what you have now, you'll be able to access obviously the custom template, which is major. You know, it's very helpful. But these new templates and the future templates are going to be really beneficial. So anyway, I just wanted to kind of share that with you guys. So first off, let me just say thank you to all of our guests that we have today, Jason and Sonya. Thank you guys so much for sharing your bit. What I want to do now is I'd like to take about 30 minutes to tell you guys about LaunchStream, to tell you what it is, and to tell you what's happening with it. Okay? So I'm going to jump over. Let me just share me very quickly here. So I'm going to pull myself back up. Ba-ba-da! Here I am. And first off, I'm certain that I have a lot of questions that are coming through. Oh yeah, we have tons of questions, tons of people asking things. So I'll come on to those. Don't you worry about a thing. So we'll get those. Don't worry. But what I wanted to do is go into my slide presentation that I have and quickly talk to you about what LaunchStream is and what you can do to kind of do all 4 steps of the event launch blueprint, okay? Because that's a powerful element to launching a product. What's great about doing automated webinars is that automated webinars, they work for you on autopilot. But what about launching weekly or monthly? Like, do you work with joint venture partners? Maybe you do, maybe you don't. I'd love to know. Because if you do, here's the thing. If you're working with joint venture partners, you might want to set up a way so you can promote them, they can promote you. And the 4 steps of the event launch blueprint does that perfectly, and that's how I'm able to do $10,000 to $40,000 launches, internally or externally per month with my joint ventures and affiliates, and of course myself. So let me quickly show this here. Okay, so now you are back. You should be able to see this now, right? Okay, so I already talked about the promo videos, okay? We talked about the key components. I already urged you to download the promo video checklist and various things like that. But what I want to talk to you now about is the 4 steps to launching out any product, any service, but how you can make 10 to 20 times more than what you might be doing if you're, say, only doing a live webinar, okay? So if you've ever experienced too few people coming to your events or technical problems, these 4 steps that I'm going to share with you are going to hedge against that, okay? No matter if you have technical screw-ups or anything, all right? So this is the event launch blueprint, okay, that can double, triple, and quadruple your sales. So take notes. If you haven't taken notes yet, do so. Take notes, okay, because this gets pretty good. And it doesn't matter how small of a community you have. You see, most people do 1 out of the 4 crucial steps of the event launch blueprint, which is like leaving money on the table. And first off, no, I'm not saying that what you're doing is all wrong. Chances are things are working for you now, but I want to give you an opportunity to do even better, to do even more. So, I mean, when I started out using webinars, I immediately made money. The first money I ever made online was actually doing online webinars and events. That was the very first time I ever made any money online, was on a webinar, okay? And I sold my product for $197 at that time, $197, all right? But I only made $2,000 from that event, okay? There were 400 people on the event. Those numbers really didn't do that well. In fact, you know, that's like what? I made 10 sales, right? But then I bumped it up to $297, and funny enough, I didn't see any change in how many sales, meaning how many sold products came through. And then I was given an opportunity to offer my product to someone who insisted I increase my price by a lot. And when I say a lot, I'm talking to $1,000. And here's something really interesting. I noticed that as long as the offer had certain elements included in it, I could sell the same number of units. So no matter if I had a $197 or a $997, depending on the offer, I could sell the same amount of licenses and units. And that's pretty powerful. And the reason I'm talking about this is because I wanted a business that would scale before I started doing everything with automated traffic with Facebook and things like that. I wanted to have a higher ticket price item that I was jumping into out of the gate, okay? I never did anything with like the tripwire thing where you know, $7 for a product and then roll them into something more and more. I never did that. I jumped immediately to higher ticket prices. And I'd urge, and I would suggest, if you're going to do a webinar, that you start considering selling your webinars for higher ticket amounts, okay? And just think about what your value is worth. That's really what it's all about. Because I wanted to build scalability in my business, and I knew that I couldn't do it if I was selling low ticket price items on webinars. I had to figure out a better offer, okay, so that I could go to my affiliates and sell my products and have those products work for me. And you know, when you start selling more, it obviously frees you up to do the things that you love. And you probably know this, that you can use online events to create consistent revenue. In fact, again, as I said, that's what I do every single month, every single week, every day, because my webinars are working just like Jason's are working on autopilot. So online events and webinars are a billion-dollar industry. You should know that. Everybody is using them. Every big-name guru, so many businesses are also using them, such as, if you want to think about this, HubSpot, you know, a marketing firm, they're using webinars. You'll notice the National Association of Realtors are using them. Various education and universities are using webinars. Okay, so that's why I'm going to show you a $40,000 a month recurring promotion case study that I did just recently, actually, for Traffic Geyser 2.0. Okay. And this event that you're on now is if you are a small business owner, local business, offline store, information product creator, physical goods, a coach or consultant, maybe an artist or performer, an author, a thought leader, service-based industry, or a visionary who just wants to change the world, webinars are really going to work for you. And I call the event launch funnel looking at the complete life cycle of an event in order to profit from it. Okay, this is a unique system and blueprint that we're talking about here. And for those who do not know me, I've been kind of online since 2010. I have a couple cats and a dog. There's my wife and I on our honeymoon. And I had to figure something out because in 2008, when the market crashed, I was about to lose my house. In fact, I almost went into foreclosure twice and had to, because I was in real estate, I knew how to modify a home, so I had to, in fact, modify my house to get out of it. But through that process, I started looking at figuring out how I could make money online and lead building online, and I started thinking, and this goes back to Sonya, because Sonya obviously talks about this kind of this reinvention of yourself, right? I thought I had to be work. So I started looking, I was in real estate because I didn't want to be broke. I started looking at financial advising and how to build leads online through being a financial advisor. But through that process, I finally then tapped back into my passion, which is video, because I started out as an actor in TV, film, and stage. And so I fell back into my passion because I started talking about YouTube and video. And this is who I am today. I'm only sharing this just in case you're someone new, you've never been to one of my webinars before. Just something you should know, I'm a big dork. Very serious, though, when it comes to teaching and absorbing top engagement strategies for online success. I've trained over 5,000 people on the subject of video marketing. I've worked with such clients as Estee Lauder, HarperCollins, and Dell. And I've shared the stage with brilliant minds all around, like Mike Hill, Andrew Locke, Ryan Lee, Damon John, Mari Smith. And I'm the creator of EasyWebinar, which is a software that uses pre-created webinars and live webinar events as a source for converting leads into sales. But initially, it wasn't easy for me. I didn't know which direction to take when I first started online. Okay, I knew I wanted to do something online. I just didn't know what. So I was checking out different products. I had my family talking behind my back because I've been trying to do this business actually for a while, about a year, and never really made any real money. I saw 327 different ways to get my message and product out there, but was completely unsure of the right direction. And I was frustrated in general, doubt of myself, my decisions, my vision, basically everything. Okay, until I incorporated webinars. Probably I don't even have to sell you into the concept of webinars. So this is something you probably already know, right? Here's the deal, though. Even if you're just starting out, oftentimes you can profit from them. In fact, Sonya was mentioning to me that she just did a recent webinar. She had, very few people on, but she still made money from that webinar, which is pretty incredible if you think about it. Her conversion was, let's see, well, what would that be? That would be 5 people, 397. Earning per attendee was at like $80. So she did even quite well with as few people as she had on. But that's the thing. Even if you have like 5 to 10 to 20 to 30 to 40 people on your webinar, you can still make money. In fact, as you can see with what Jason does, he's getting about 10 or 20 to 35 signups per day, and then he's making money from it, right? So you don't have to have 400 people on a webinar to actually make him profit. When I started out, I was doing terrible webinars. And as I said, my first webinar, $2,000, had 400 people on. And that was an earning per attendee of $5, which is pretty terrible. And I think that it lacked, the reason I did so bad was, first off, my price was too low, and I lacked the confidence, and my message was a bit unclear. And oftentimes I would share way too much content, which would overwhelm my audience. But we have to start somewhere, right? So I just kept doing them. And then it wasn't unheard of for me to do small 40-people events and make $3,000 in sales. And I started to see the possibility of this, and this was me selling a $1,000 product, right? And this was me only doing, however, live events only. In fact, this was my first year of doing webinars. I did $245,000, and that was only from the live event, just me doing live events, not doing the 4 steps, the rebroadcast, the replay, and the automated webinars. I didn't have automated webinars built into my funnel yet, right? So the 4 steps of the event launch blueprint can do a couple things for you. It can hedge against the painful too few people in your event or the technical issues that might arise. Because most people that are using events for launching their businesses are missing either 1 or 2 pieces of the event life cycle, which is like leaving money on the table. And using all 4 steps of the event launch blueprint can change your profits dramatically, typically by 10 to 20 times. So you might be wondering what it is. If you are new here, then this might be something you might be having a question on. Well, let me share it with you very quickly. The 4 steps of the event launch blueprint is this. You start with a live event. You then go to a rebroadcast of that same event. You then do a timed replay. And then after that timed replay is up, you push this into an automated webinar. Okay? That looks pretty simple, right? Well, why don't more people do all of these steps? And I think this is the reason, is because in the past, to do a complete event launch funnel, you would need 3 to 4 different types of software plus an AV guy helping along. Well, first off, not all of us have the resources capable of finding the right AV guy, an audio video person, let alone have the money to pay them continuously for services rendered. And it gets way too confusing and frustrating when it comes to just how many pieces of the software are needed to make all the bells and whistles work. But again, it surprises me that more people aren't 100% familiar with the event launch funnel in the first place, because I started doing this 3 years ago using GoToWebinar. So I would do my live event using GoToWebinar. I then would do a rebroadcast, having to pay an AV guy to do my broadcast. I then set up a replay, and I'd have to use a third-party page builder to set up the replay. And then I'd put it all into an automated system, so I'd need an automated platform to do that. This is before, this is while actually EasyWebinar was being built. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4 different products plus an AV guy that I had to pay, and it required a ton of big hurdles, right? Well, that is, of course, until we spent 3 years and literally hundreds of thousands of dollars on development to build EasyWebinar. And some of you, well, all the people that are here with me in the actual Google Hangout as a guest are all EasyWebinar customers, and 2 of you are LaunchStream customers, of course. And a lot of people probably watching this are EasyWebinar customers. And you probably are not even using EasyWebinar to its full capacity, is my guess. Because EasyWebinar is an all-in-one webinar event suite that does both live and automated events. So while your automated events could be going, you could be testing out and tweaking a live event. Or you could be doing something like this, which is the 4 steps of the event launch blueprint, by getting joint venture partners and doing this process with EasyWebinar. Okay? EasyWebinar is literally the only software that I know that can do all 4 steps of the event launch blueprint with one system. And we have thousands of customers, and many members are using EasyWebinar to specifically do live events or specifically for automated events, but few are using the full event launch blueprint, which is interesting to me. And that's what LaunchStream, the coaching program, is literally all about. Okay? So LaunchStream is a complete event launch funnel blueprint, including detailed training on all 4 steps: live event, rebroadcast, timed replay, and automated evergreen video event, that can be used to increase your profits by 10 to 20 times. Okay? And LaunchStream is a 4-week live training bootcamp coaching program. This is literally where I work with you hand in hand. And of course, as I said, we have Lauren and Sonya, who are in our previous coaching program, who I'd love to get on to share their experiences that they had on this. And you have to understand something. This is coaching. So this is like we work together, group coaching and one-on-one coaching. And what do you mainly get from it? Well, accountability. Because I keep you accountable to try to get and maximize as much money as you can from your events, and I try to get you to start networking with people to try to line those maybe joint venture partners up and things like that, so you can do this system for them, for when you're going to be doing a joint venture. Also, if you're going to do a product release, using this same system is very, very helpful. If you're going to launch any product, using the 4 steps really works well. Okay? Okay, and if you've ever used the traditional method of launching a product, which is like this, you come to the first video, this is through a pre-launch series, and then this is the sales video, right? This is, generally you take 3, pre-launches that talk about a problem, etc., and then here is the 4th, which is all about the cart opening, and then the cart closes after a while. Now, this is a traditional method, and it's worked like gangbusters. And I'm not saying that you have to use the LaunchStream or Event Launch Blueprint in place of that. I'm saying you could use it alongside it. So if you are someone who's doing a launch, consider actually bringing people into a live webinar, offering up a rebroadcast, timed replay, and then put it into an automated webinar. And you can do this, as I said, as an addition to these launches. In fact, maybe you've now seen that the biggest gurus online are doing these launches, and they're doing webcasts. They're doing these webcasts and guess what? The majority of the sales that are made are from the webcasts. And I actually did this with Traffic Geyser 2.0 for my promotion of their product, Traffic Geyser 2.0, which is Mike Koenig's. You might know him. One of the biggest marketers out there. One of the nicest guys I know. And anyway, that funnel that I did pretty much surprised my competitors and Mike and Ed as well, Ed Rush, his partner. And Ed's email to me, went out and it said, "Hey, it's Ed Rush. I'm assuming you remember me, but if not, I was the one who ran Mike Koenig's Traffic Geyser launch last month, and I'm reaching out because, frankly, I was impressed and maybe even surprised by your performance in Traffic Geyser 2.0. Since I'm working on another launch, I figured I would take a moment to invite you." Right? And here's the thing. I was able to get to the top leaderboards in different various promotions using this system. And it really, again, as I said, it kind of took people by surprise. And I came into that particular promotion 3 days before it ended. And I really started using this concept and system last year. Okay, and in that time, I've gotten on top leaderboards, and I'm only sharing this information not to brag, because I hate bragging. I, in fact, feel weird about showing you this stuff. I'm only sharing it with you so you understand that this stuff works, because all these guys have bigger and badder communities than me. Brendan Brouchard, I beat out Brendan Brouchard. Okay, here's Mike up here, Mike Koenig's. Okay, Josh Bartlett. All these people have large communities, but not necessarily maybe as active or as interested in this funnel that I've created. I mean, this really does work. And I think recently I got on the leaderboard for Pam Hendrickson. She just did a launch, and you might know that you were on my list. Well, I think I was number 4 or number 5 on her leaderboard, and I had beat out Jordan Belfort. And it doesn't make much sense. I mean, I know who who Jordan Belfort is? He's the Wolf of Wall Street. Okay? And to me, it was like when I first started getting on leaderboards, it was like it's like being able to open up the curtain and go in and see who the wizard is, right? Because now it wasn't so unattainable that I could be reaching the status that these gurus, quote unquote, were reaching. And I don't consider myself one at all. I consider myself someone who just tries to have a good community, just like someone like Jason. Jason has a really thriving community and continues to build it. I kind of look at myself in the same way. I'm just looking to build my community, good people that want to work with me, real people, and that's what it's all about. And so it was interesting that I was able to kind of use this social proof. I'm using this social proof right now because I want you to understand what I've been able to do with this. I mean, I essentially used this same system. And if you've ever been a client or customer of mine, here are a few folks that I have. If you've never been, a client or customer of mine, here are a few folks that I've worked with. They've provided some great feedback. And first, I'd like to share some things that my LaunchStream members have said. And Lauren's actually on, so I'm quoting you, Lauren, even though you're actually on this call right now, and I'll unmute you at some point here. But Lauren said, and I'll read it in my voice. You are awesome. Your coaching is superb, and you over-deliver. I can't thank you enough for today's call. I'm so inspired. Some people come into our lives and quickly go. Some stay for a while and leave footprints on our soul, the heart of my business, and we are never ever the same. I am forever grateful that I have Casey as a mentor. I have had several coaches, and it's awesome when you absolutely know that your coach, Casey, even gets you and supports you. And that, you know, I'm kind of red in the face because I feel, you know, I just feel like I'm blushing. But I think the point of this is that I'd like to point out is supports you. Because that's really ultimately what my overall goal for all of my customers, all of my community members, is just to support you. And that's what LaunchStream is about. It is a supportive group of like-minded masterminds who are going to work to essentially make more money in their events and to really tweak and make sure that their events match who their customers are. Okay? We go into a lot of detail here. And I'm going to share with you exactly what that is. So here's Diane, who was also in our session. She said, Casey, I love how you show up 100%. Diane is actually doing some really cool stuff. She has a full network that she's built out using EasyWebinar. It's phenomenal. I'll have to share it with you guys at some point. So it's pretty cool stuff. And of course, you know, existing EasyWebinar members. Here's Jason, who was actually on the call with me as well, right? And then I have more here. I don't have to go through all this, but the point of showing you this is literally that that we care about our customers. I care personally about my customers, about people that come into my community, and of course these are people that are using our software and having success with it. Jason has used our software before, and he's
okay. So Casey, can I interrupt?
Yes, of course.
There you go. Okay. Hey, how are you?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you?
I'm
fantastic.
fantastic.
Bronchitis.
I'm downtown, and I just got over the flu, and I'm dealing with a sister. But I want you all to know that Casey is a person who really establishes relationships with people and makes that connection, and then supports you in whatever you do. And that is so important, especially if you're in startup mode, or if you're in halfway through, or even if you're trying to go to the next level in your business. It has been phenomenal. And so, Casey, wait till you see what I'm producing next.
Oh boy, I'm kind of excited.
So yeah,
Well,
I've been working a lot of live events. I'm looking at automated webinars. I'm doing quite a bit, and I'll be rocking and rolling here next month.
That's incredible. That's incredible. That's so exciting. I know that that you had an event at one point recently. And you know, you guys. Here's the thing: like, everybody starts talking to each other after within LaunchStream. Like, everybody starts networking, and you know, I don't know if you guys have been keeping up with what Diane's doing, but everybody start talking to each other because you guys, your growth is remarkable. Since your course, since finishing LaunchStream, I've seen so much growth. Diane built out an entire network.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's incredible. And then Sonya did a book launch and got New York Times or a bestseller on Amazon, soon to be New York Times bestseller, right?
Yep.
And Lauren, you were actually doing events while we were in LaunchStream. You were actually launching while LaunchStream was going on. So
successful, and I've gotten all kinds of telesummit interviews, blog talk radio interviews. I'm getting ready to finish a book. I mean, it's rocking and rolling.
That's awesome. I love that. I so appreciate you guys being in and a part of LaunchStream. And you know, you guys might be wondering what you can do to get LaunchStream today. Well, if you're watching on this page, you will probably notice that there's access to it below. But don't click through yet. If you haven't clicked through, I want to share with you the bonuses that I have for you today, and I want to share those to you. So, how do you get LaunchStream today? Well, for a limited time and with a 50% discount, we are offering this 4-week group coaching to a handful of students. And again, as I said, it's just a handful. We don't take a large number of people. We just take a handful. But please note, this system is not to be used. This system is to be used alongside of EasyWebinar. Now, I did have someone ask me, Casey, can I use something like a Webinar Ignition with it? And here's the thing, guys. I don't know if other software works for this same 4-step system. So you're kind of taking a risk of that by doing it on your own. But you're more than welcome to come into LaunchStream and become one of our members, okay? You are absolutely more than welcome to come through, and even if you don't have EasyWebinar. Maybe you'll get it down the road. You know, it just depends on where you're at. Okay. please also note that this program might not be right for everyone. In fact, if you're someone who doesn't have an existing business or idea for a business, this program might not necessarily be the program for you. However, if you're someone who has created webinars or even live stream events before, or has a product and service to sell, then this system and coaching can provide dramatic results. This process has brought me tens of thousands of dollars every month and my affiliates, and it's been good for the students who've already come through. Again, we've only done one other course, but Sonya, I believe Sonya has sold enough to where now it's made up for the actual cost and investment of the course itself. Or if she hasn't done it already, she's on the road. I think she had mentioned that she sold, and it was a test. It was like a test webinar with very few people on, and she even sold a $400 product and had 2 other people that want to buy it as well. And to me, again, when I say test, she only had 5 people on. So she's selling potentially 3 units to 5 people, and she leveraged replays and rebroadcasting to do it. And again, that's a test. But she's already, if she sells the last 2 sales, which I think she's probably going to do at least one of those, then she's going to be almost pretty much paying for what LaunchStream was, right?
Absolutely. I mean, I'll just tell you that I will do it again. I think that I had the software for so long, but being a part of LaunchStream just gave me the confidence to just go out and do it. And I went back and listened to the rebroadcast of all the sessions that we did because there's so much information in there that was so helpful. And then the Q&A, which I think is just invaluable because now you get to ask questions as it relates to what you're doing. So all of us had an opportunity to be very specific in our questions. And so then once I went through everything and I said, okay, the book has been launched, I've got the momentum, let's go. And I said, well, let me just do a subset so I can just test it out because I still wasn't comfortable with the technology, not EasyWebinar, but Google Hangout and things of that nature. Yeah. With my first event, I just checked the wrong box in YouTube when I set up the Google Hangout. So I had a certain number registered, but because of that, they couldn't see anything. So we just did a rebroadcast, not a rebroadcast, but I did it again, and even had a smaller number of people show up, and that was fine. But then just to see the results with just a small group using everything that you taught us in LaunchStream was just, I was so excited, and I'm already, working on the next event. Right now I have it in the automated replay mode, but I'm going to be doing some more live events using everything that you taught us in the LaunchStream. So highly recommend it.
Well, thank you. And one of the cool things is, Sonya has that page for her automation page, but guess what? You can make that same event that's right now automated. She said she's put it in automated mode. That same event can be easily turned into a live event with a couple clicks of the button, with EasyWebinar. So chances are you guys know that. If you don't know that, get into EasyWebinar and start using it a bit more so you can understand that. Because now she doesn't have to change anything. Her video's in there. Her thank you pages, all of her funnels are there. She just can then go in and schedule her live event into the future, And it doesn't affect anything from the previous registrants. If someone is registered already for an event that's happening in the future, and then you decide to change the page before that person came to the webinar that they already registered for, it won't affect their showing up to the event. And that's kind of cool. If you think about it, you can tweak your pages within midstream of people registering. So yeah, so it's kind of cool that you can actually go from that as I said, the automated back into the live. So if you guys are ready, let me just quickly talk about these 4 steps, okay? Because this is a 4-week training, and in week 1, which is kind of one of the biggest training sessions, we talk about the type of registration pages that convert. Okay, I gave you a lot of information just now. In fact, that's why I wanted to do this promo video to start, to show you exactly the kind of stuff that we talk about in LaunchStream, okay? I wanted to give you kind of a taste so you understood exactly the type of stuff you're getting. So in our live event, the first week, we talk about that, the registration pages, converting them. The biggest aspect is we go into how to create a high-converting sales event webinar for maximizing your profits, okay? What should all the event funnel pages look like and be optimized as? But as I said, more importantly, how to create a webinar that sells, okay? Through the entire process, like how, what do you do when you invite someone to the webinar? When do you make the offer? How do you put the offer out there? What's bonus stacking? All these things that you should know about putting on a webinar, we talk about that in week 1. It's one of the biggest weeks of training. And then we have our Q&A, which we then go into more detail on it. I check out your presentations, and all the while you have to understand that I'm offering up a coaching. So you get a session with me to coach, and so I can examine your webinar. I can also look at and look at different various pieces of the event to see how it's performing, right? So it's pretty powerful. And then, week 2 is how to set up a rebroadcast and double your sales and attendance right away. Okay? So the week 2, a broadcast, a lot of people don't understand a broadcast. Sorry, my wife came into the room. A lot of people don't quite know what a rebroadcast is, and that's an opportunity to get more people to the event if, say, they didn't come the first time. And you can do a rebroadcast, either into the future, whether you're going to be there, whether you're going to do it again as you, or you're going to rebroadcast it as pre-recorded. Okay, and we talk about this, what's best for you. We also talk about how to keep engagement but do less work with the rebroadcast, and setting up for structuring a converting rebroadcast, and how to simply set up all the technical levels in a rebroadcast, and the difference between a replay and a rebroadcast, and the offer. Okay, rebroadcast is another way that you can make money, okay, to double your sales from the first event. Here's the biggest money maker, okay, right here. Actually, both week 3 and week 4 are pretty powerful. But week 3 in a funnel, a launch funnel, is where you're probably going to make most sales, because you're doing a limited event replay. And generally speaking, you could chances are double what you've made already in your live event and your rebroadcast in your replay. Okay, so in this program, we'll talk about how to set up a limited event replay, how to structure your offer for the replay to maximize sales, how to technically go from rebroadcast to replay and the differences between the two. Okay, this is a big money maker. Okay, we also talk about bonuses, bonus stacking, fast action bonuses, things like that are really powerful that you need to understand, and how to set up a good bonus package. Okay. Okay. Week 4, also a big week, is all about automating your traffic. Okay, automating your events. And so we go from taking that replay and then now putting it into an automated event sequence that can continue to make money for you over and over again, just like it's doing for Jason, myself. This is where you can take advantage of Facebook traffic, other retargeting traffic, send your list to events that are pre-recorded. These are ways that you can make money with an asset that you've just built out through the period of a launch sequence. And now, boom, you can make even more. So in this week, we're going to talk about how to make and maximize profits from this. Plus, we'll discuss one of the most profitable and highly engaged funnels, going from automated to live. Okay, a lot of people have asked, how do you do a hybrid event? Well, this is where we talk about the hybrid event. And finally, we'll talk automated traffic and about Facebook ads. We'll touch on YouTube ads. We'll talk about a few different options for automated traffic, and also we'll discuss good ways to get other people there, such as what Jason is doing with content marketing. Content marketing is key. If you have a good content marketing strategy, then all this other stuff works, because then you can retarget that continued traffic, and it can continue to work for you. So it's a major asset. So you might be wondering, how is this course going to be structured? And let me tell you, every week there will be 2 live trainings, which totals roughly about 4 hours a week. One training will be the core training for about 2 hours. Then the other one will be a Q&A. And all training will be archived and housed either in a Facebook group, but I'm actually going to now put this in a membership. So I've already started building out the membership, and it's going to go inside the membership group. Okay, but you also get access to our private Facebook group for networking, and as soon as an archive is done, I post it in the Facebook group. And please note, this is only the 2nd time in history that I'm offering this training. So with that said, come through and pick up a LaunchStream event blueprint today, and you can click below, and here are the numbers, okay? Now you can get LaunchStream right now for $829 for a one-time payment, or a split pay for $472.50, okay? One now and one 24 days from now, all right? This is 50% off what we're doing. This is a coaching. You have to understand something. This is like one-on-one coaching. So that's why the cost is appropriate, because of the fact that it is one-on-one coaching along with group coaching. Okay? And as I already said, if you can do 2 webinars, if you can do 1 webinar and sell a $400 to $500 product, you will make your money back in this program. And here's the thing, this doesn't include EasyWebinar. So this is really for EasyWebinar members already, this price. But we also have a price for those who do not have EasyWebinar yet. Okay? So now, if you want to get LaunchStream and include the unlimited site license, we are going to do that for $1,100, one-time price, or 2 payments of $607.50, and that's over 24 days. Okay, $607.50, that gets you EasyWebinar and LaunchStream and some killer bonuses, which I'm going to reveal right now. Again, you have to understand this is a coaching program, and I generally charge $700 an hour for my personal one-on-one coaching students. But with this course, you get me, our like-minded community, for the next 4 weeks, one-on-one. So that's where it's really powerful. And you have to understand, there are limited slots. I only take a handful because this is my time and your time, and we have to respect each other's time. And because of that, we're not going to be doing a huge number of people coming through. Now, here's some good news, though. I've extended the enrollment at the 50% till Friday, this Friday, okay? But you will still be able to enroll through the weekend, but please be aware of what I'm going to say, but at the full price, okay? The full price, which is the $2,000 and the, I believe, $1,600, okay? And then we're going to close it on Monday. And at that time, as I said, the cart will be closing because we need to focus on the people that have come through at that point. And I want you to understand that we do have a full money-back guarantee. Okay, if after the first session you feel this coaching and boot camp isn't right for you, request your money back, no questions asked. But you will have up until the second main session to ask for a refund. After that, I can't give you a refund because it's our time. You've already come into the group, you've already learned a lot of the training within the first week, and you can still get out within the first week before the second week, but I don't know, by that time you're really going to understand the power of this stuff. Even if you're someone new, you're not quite sure if this is going to work for you, you're not quite sure how you're using webinars. Trust me, everybody who went through our program, and I'm not just saying this, I'm basing it on the feedback that we've gotten, and as you've already talked to Lauren and Sonya, everybody found a huge benefit in it, especially the accountability, especially working together. So as I said, come on through. You can click the link below or go to launchstream.net/coaching. And when you do come through, I want you to be aware of some bonuses. You have to understand these bonuses here, okay? Here they are. I'm going to be bringing in a mystery guest trainer, and this guest has literally done $3 million in sales from one webinar. And I think it sounds incredible, but you have to understand something. This guy, he is doing this for like some Fortune 500 company, and were already doing $100,000 on a webinar, right? But he taught them through a system like this how to increase that to 3 million, and we're going to bring him on. He's going to share his expertise on what he did. I'm also going to throw in something. These, by the way, I didn't throw in this last session, so I feel bad for Lauren and Sonya, but I've already told them I'm going to hook them up. I'm going to give you one free rehearsal session of Producer's Corner. And if you don't know what Producer's Corner is, it is our we do the work for you area. So it's we do the work if you want to get your events set up with EasyWebinar. We'll produce your live events. We'll help you set up the automated events. We'll also help you rehearse your first session for free when you come into LaunchStream. So we'll hold your hand to do a free session for you so that you can do your live event. You also get full access to my vid traffic conversion program, which is my lifetime access to my video marketing training center that covers also Google Plus and some SEO training as well. Okay, it also has a ton of stuff, a lot of my mastermind. A lot of my mastermind webinars that I've done, so it's a really, really great program. Just a ton of training teaches you how to get traffic. And of course, and this is I'm going to extend this to Sonya and everybody who already came to the previous LaunchStream, you get 2 tickets to LaunchStream Live happening in LA in spring of 2015. Yay! I'm finally doing this, and people have asked me to do this for quite some time to actually do a live event, and we're going to set this up. This is valued at $3,000 because this is going to be a workshop. This is going to be actually a workshop event, all right, where we work with you, just like what LaunchStream is, but it's going to be physically live, okay? And this gets you a ticket for not just you, but a guest. Bring in a guest, all right? And here's something else I'm going to do. You're going to get access to EasyWebinar 4.0 when you come into LaunchStream, and you don't have to pay the additional cost that it's going to cost to do it. Okay, and that gets you access to our new template library, okay, and the new templates and the new features that we have rolled out. All right. And then I have something for you, a fast action bonus that you can only get when you take action on this event, on this webinar that you're at right now. You have to take action. Okay. Fast action today, an additional 30-minute one-on-one training with me, which is valued at about $350. Is what you get as a fast action from taking action right now. Also, that's one fast action bonus. There's a second one. I'm going to give you full access to online broadcast and online broadcast club, and that is my Google Hangout / YouTube Live training program that I did with Chris Farrell, and that's valued at about $497. So you get that for no cost, okay? That's the second fast action you get right away. If you take action today on this webinar, you pick up LaunchStream, and you go, and you're excited, and you boom, you get ready for our orientation meeting that we're going to be doing. I think we're going to do it on Saturday, and then start in with our meeting, our first session on Monday, okay? I'm looking for action takers. I'm looking for people that want to do some changes, that want to take their essentially their business and their events to the next level, and to just work and strategize. I love doing this. I love it. So that's why I'm doing it again. It takes a lot of personal time. That's why I don't do it that often. That's why I don't do it every month. I do it like once every 2 to 3 months. So again, you know, it's a great opportunity to come in to work with me, but not just me, other people that are in the group, mastermind, talk. It's intimate. It's perfect, okay? So again, total bonus package. The mystery guest, valued at $997. Producer's Corner, vid traffic conversion, 2 tickets to LaunchStream, access to EasyWebinar 4.0, and then the fast action bonuses of online broadcasts and my one-on-one consulting is $5,638 plus. And the reason I say plus is because I haven't priced out what EasyWebinar 4.0 is going to be. It's going to cost different for people that don't have EasyWebinar. If you have EasyWebinar, you're going to not have to pay a full price. You're going to pay a discount price. But for those who do not have it, it's going to be at a higher full price. So that's why I put depends on if you have EasyWebinar or not. Okay? But the total value is $5,638. So if you're ready to get all these bonuses, to work with me, to work with the group of people that is more like a family. It's more like a close-knit family that works together, that strategizes together, that just tries to make your business work well. I kind of call this, you know, I use the phrase barn raising strategies, and this is where everybody comes together to kind of work on your particular funnel for you. You know, you don't just get me working on it, you get other people. You get good benefit of just masterminding. This is a mastermind. Don't be fooled. This is a mastermind. It's a coaching. It just helps to elevate your business. So come on through. You can either go to launchstream.net/coaching or click the link below. You should be able to see the link below in the right next to the attendee list. So what I'd like to do now is I want to find out from, you know, I know we're getting close to the end here. I want to find out, and as I said, you know, take action now to get those fast action bonuses. Those fast action bonuses are only available if you take action now. Before I end this presentation, I will extend this presentation till 6 p.m. tonight, and you will have till 6 p.m. to take the action, to take advantage of the fast action. So I want to find out from Sonya, from Jason, do you guys have anything to say? And thank you so much for still being here. Maybe you have already gone to dinner, but I know that, okay, Sonya is still here. Okay.
Yeah.
Again, thank you so much. Sonya, do you have anything you'd like to share or
Yeah,
any
absolutely.
stories?
I just can't stress enough how valuable the program is. If anybody's on the fence about it, just go ahead and sign up for it. Like he had, he has the first session that you have to, there's that guarantee. You're not going to regret it. I mean, there's just so much value and I think because the group is small, there's that personal attention that you get for what you need specifically. So he'll give us the general information, the training, but you can always ask questions even during the training session. And there's Casey's not there with a stopwatch saying, okay, 1 hour, we're done. He goes as long as we want him to go. So it's great. It's going to boost your confidence. It's going to help you really uncover all the value of what EasyWebinar plugin has. I mean, there's just so much just in the sessions that I was a part of that I didn't realize EasyWebinar could do. Now I have the confidence, and I'm just like Lauren, ready to just keep cranking out the live events and the automated webinars now because of what I learned from LaunchStream. And then I'm just so excited now that I tested out the system that he teaches to take it on a broader level and just make a lot of money. So I can't stress it enough. Casey has a big heart. He's going to really help you, and then the people that he attracts, we're all kind of in it together to win, and it's just a great community. So I just say go for it.
Thank you. I mean, that's the idea. I love what you said. We're all in it together to win. I mean, that's the goal. I want you to succeed. That's the whole point of all this, is that, we all want you to succeed, and it's kind of nice to know that you have a community of people that are like that want to see your success. So again, and as you just pointed out, Sonya, right, I'm not holding a stopwatch there. I talk to you. I kind of get deep into what you're planning on doing with your business and what you strive to accomplish with it. And as as she said, I don't hold a stopwatch to you. I try to take my time and value that as well as your time as well, so we can really get strategize with an agenda, an action plan, and that's a lot of what it is. The action plan. I mean, that's a big factor with this, is that I say, okay, let's try to get this done by this time with you, and then I follow up with you. All during the 4 weeks, we're working hand in hand. You are sending me emails. You can ask me anything. You can send me Skype messages. I mean, this is an opportunity to kind of just increase what maybe your knowledge is right now, or your skill level, and the possibility of making money doing this. Again, as I said, I like to work with people that already have either businesses or they have an idea for a business. And maybe they've done webinars before, but they want to profit a bit more. They want to get a little more coaching, a little more consulting. That's what this is really about. So, I urge you to take action if you are someone who has wanted to see a change in your business, right? If you haven't seen a change in your business, is that the definition of crazy? And maybe you're continuing to do the same things? I've heard someone say that before, yeah? So I would like you to look at this as an opportunity to learn something that maybe you haven't done yet. Maybe you've been kind of scared or nervous about doing. And also you have to understand the reason we created the split pay option is because I wanted people to have the flexibility and freedom of not having to focus so much on the money. If you can do $500 or between $400 and $500 now, and then 3 weeks from now, hopefully that will help you. And that's kind of the idea, is that I just want people in the door. I want to help you. That's the biggest thing. And again, I don't want to have too many people in because I want to make sure that my time, I'm not like stretched for time. And that's also why you probably realize that I don't do it every single month. But again, this is a mastermind. This is a group thing. So it's not really about me. It's about you. It's about what we can do for you, what you can do for the rest of the group. That's what we look for. We look for people that can help, contribute, and who are interested in helping and contributing and building their own business up, kind of making that reach to the next level. That's the idea. So before we close shop, I'm going to see if there are any questions. And again, I just want to thank my thank my guests who came on. Jason, thank you so much, and Sonya, you guys rock. You guys are incredible. Thank you. And let me just see if I have questions here. Okay, so I see, what is the top tip for a newbie to get started in this event launch? What was that promotion PDF link listed here? Okay, so it sounds like, Joe, you came in maybe a bit late to the webinar and lost it. Joe's biggest question is, hi, I know it's good value. I want to do this to make some money to get out of issues for my current work. Okay, this sounds like something Sonya is very familiar with. I wanted to create a recurring income from Photoshop and photography training online. I want to do this, but price is the issue. Can help me launch my system in first 25 to make money, or pay your balance and help me back on the road to success. Looks like you're looking for a particular deal, Joe. And again, as I said, what we can do is the 2-pay split option and help you out in that regard. I like your plan. I like your idea, your Photoshop. Yes, you can certainly create a business like this using Photoshop and photography training. Absolutely, it works perfectly well. In fact, if you saw the promo video, that was really about that. Okay. Let me see if the other questions. Okay. Hold on one second. I'm just going through and seeing if there are questions. We have Abby. Abby was saying, Abby is currently working with speakers in conferencing in person and wants to move it online. Change the business model. I reside in Newfoundland, Canada. Yes, you can see Dennis. Okay, so she was answering a few questions. And this is, so she is doing offline speaking and conferencing, and she wants to move it online. Well, this is a perfect opportunity because everything we do essentially is online, Abby. And I show you not only how to use the software and use the technical stuff, but really focus on how to be the best authentic you can be in front of the camera. Because a lot of people, when they come to doing conferences and then suddenly coming online, they kind of freeze up and something changes. I don't know what it is, because it's odd. They're not familiar with talking right into the camera, right? If you're putting yourself in front of the camera, they're not used to doing that. And so what I do is I tend to talk about how to get you familiar with doing that, how to get you familiar with talking and communicating with your community through like the questions. Like for instance, I'm responding to Abby's question, and I was responding to other people's questions. There is a science to it to a degree, especially when you're using some of the technology that I'm going to be sharing, which is ultimately great technology, especially if you want to leverage your time a bit more, create maybe a network for other speakers to speak out of, and to do live events, and then, as I said, the 4 steps of the event launch blueprint. And you were asking, do you have a certification course on producing webinars? Well, the certification course, where we certify you as a producer, well, we have our Producer's Corner, and we've been selling a lot of those recently because a lot of people like the done-for-you service. And at some point soon, I think I'll be hiring and looking for new producers. And at that point, I will be doing a certification for producers to do for using EasyWebinar and Google Hangouts and YouTube Live, and I'll be teaching about that. I don't know if that was your question. Maybe it was. Okay. Let's see, Dennis. Okay, so Dennis was asking a few things. How do you create a clear white background? I tried several lights, but never managed to get a bright white background as in those sales videos. These are good questions. These are mostly about, these are very, very good questions. I don't know if we have time to answer all of them right now, but let me go through a couple of these. As I said, I'm going till 6 o'clock and giving you the opportunity to get the fast action bonuses. You're saying how to best record best a normal room or blank background. Me personally, when I do a video, so I can actually, so let me do this for you guys, so you can, I can put myself back on screen. Hello, hello, hello. It's Casey. Although this is not a very good example because I'm overlit a bit, and my hair's a bit messy. I wouldn't use this. But I tend to not like a white background. I tend to find that I like a little depth in my background. That's just me personally, okay? That's just me personally. So to answer your question, that's what I would be doing. And you're asking what kind of lighting should you do when you're doing your white backdrop, your white backgrounds. Well, here's the deal. You need to backlight your backdrop. I have a document in our Facebook group, EasyWebinar Facebook group, that talks about the event launch. It talks about what you need to do live streaming. And in LaunchStream, we actually cover those things. We talk about those things. We talk about those elements of what kind of lighting you should use and what kind of cameras you should use and what kind of microphones you should use. And we talk about when streaming out, what sort of things do you need? What kind of input and output do you need for your computer to make sure that it flows right? Right. For instance, you're watching this event right now, and you can probably notice that there's not much of a delay, right? And generally speaking, there could be a delay for different people, depending on your computer, depending on your if you're using Wi-Fi. That's always, there's sometimes like a delay from video to audio. But right now you're not going to see that because I'm plugged in, and I'm also I got a computer that was set up specifically so I could do live stream events. So I hope that answers a bit of your question. We actually cover that in LaunchStream. So let me go back in here. So you're asking, how much text do you add on a page under the video, or do you only add the video that speaks for itself as a promo? Dennis, it's going to depend. It's going to depend on how you are using that promo video. If you're using a promo video and a delayed pop-up to show up underneath, that video can be just what you use. Sometimes text can take away from a video and vice versa. So oftentimes I say it just depends. A video with maybe 4 to 5 bullets can really do well. Okay. I would often just say that make sure your video, if you're doing a video, is above the fold. Okay. Now, if you know what above the fold is, it's like when you start scrolling down your computer and and if your video isn't there when someone immediately comes to your site, then you want to put it up there. Okay. Okay, and you asked, when should I use background music in my promo videos? Should I? Which background music is recommended? So these are all great questions, by the way. I definitely think that music is a really powerful element in your videos, and I think that you want to find a bit of music that is reflective of what you're selling or what you're doing. So something of inspiration potentially. Oftentimes, I even suggest having more than one video. Audio clip or music clip that changes the mood. If your mood changes in your video, you want to have your audio do the same thing and change. Okay? So I always recommend also that keep your music level down. I would say, generally speaking, when I'm using ScreenFlow to edit my videos, I put my audio to about 7% to 5%, okay, of my overall 100% of audio. Okay? Hope that makes sense. Okay, now let me go back in. Hold on 1 second. Okay, hold on. Okay, let me go back into the slide. But I wanted now to go in and finish up any questions. That was mostly about video, so let me see what we have here. What else? Hold on 1 second. All right. Background music, yes or no? So David is asking the same thing. I suggest background music is fine. However, and these are probably people that asked about the promo video when we were doing the promo video, I suggest using music, but as I said, make it background. Don't make it so it's overpowering. In fact, sometimes what I'll do is I'll start my music loud, and then as soon as I start speaking, I'll bring my music down. So I'll decrescendo the sound, if you will, right? So as soon as the video starts, my music is pumping, but then as soon as I speak it, I bring it down a bit. Okay. So let me see what other questions we have. All right. Well, guess what? I think we're at the hour, and if you have any other questions, feel free to stay on this page to write it down, or feel free to email me at casey@easywebinar.com. And as I already mentioned, the time to take advantage of the fast action bonuses, which I've already talked about, which are right here, is now. Okay, this is the time to get these fast action bonuses that you can't get after this event is over. So the time to take action is right now in order to take advantage of the fast action bonuses. So again, I just want to say, first off, thank you for your time, for being here, and especially thank you to my guests who have come in to share their stories about what LaunchStream was for them, Jason sharing his information about what EasyWebinar has done for him and what he's been able to do using the power of automated webinars. He's such a smart guy. It's really awesome. So again, as I mentioned, thank you to everyone who has come to the event, has taken action, and again, of course, to my guests who have come through. And so let me just check here. Okay, Gary says, Gary came through. Thanks, Gary, so much. Gary Dawson is someone who just came through. Oh, and Gary, you're saying, what if the PayPal doesn't work? Well, so the PayPal will work, but not for the split pay. The PayPal should work for a one-time payment. If you're having problems with coming into the actual course, Gary, I'll send you off something. But you should be able to come through using PayPal. It should work. And Gary, you're saying, I can't do Saturday. The orientation, might that be recorded? Yeah, everything is recorded. Really the most important thing is that just know that everything is recorded and archived. Probably the most important thing is the coaching. But if you can come to our meetings, and we have people already in the group that are overseas. Some are from the Netherlands, and some work during the day. So what I'm trying to do is find a time that works. I found that Monday at like 11 a.m. Pacific Standard might work because I get a couple people that said that they could do Monday, and I also get the people in the Netherlands, as well as if you are, say, in the UK, then you can watch the live training at night, right? So that's why we've done this. So, but don't worry, everybody watches the training, even if you don't get it. So let me know if the payment. Yeah, so the split pay option does not work with PayPal. Just so you know, Gary. Yeah, but thank you, Matt, so much for coming through. I really appreciate it. David is saying, Casey, are you likely to offer LaunchStream again in early 2015? I totally get it, David. Working on a tight budget, I totally understand. You're saying I have a vague idea of two about what I might offer clients in an online course workshop and feel it would make more sense to have a more solid idea before investing. And you know what, David, I would say, yeah. If we could, here's the thing, I can help you with this. I really, the coaching is there kind of also for you to figure out what you're doing, but I completely get it. If you want to wait, you're more than welcome to wait. Of course, if funds are tight and things like that, I completely understand. I only want people to come through that can handle the investment. But just so you understand, you and I will work together, and I will ask about, what you're already doing. You probably might be already doing something. Chances are, if you bought the system of EasyWebinar, chances are you probably already have an idea of what you want to do. And now it's just a question of, well, what are you going to sell? And in my course, in my training, guys, look at what I'm doing. Look at what I'm doing. Not just what I'm saying, but what I'm doing. I am selling a boot camp, a group coaching boot camp, right? That's what I'm selling. That's what LaunchStream is. If you don't have a product in existence already, you could do the same thing. So just realize that you don't have to sell a product that's already on the market. You could sell a product that isn't on the market yet. You could sell a coaching. You could sell a course training, live consulting. So just think about that. That's the type of stuff that we talk about. I get you on a plan of action for doing that. And that's actually what Sonya just sold. That's what because she doesn't have her product up yet. She was doing it, I believe, through a boot camp. Is that right, Sonya? I don't know if you're still on, but I believe you were doing it through a boot camp. So you have to understand something. There are so many different ways to do this, and it's about having people to work with that will tell you which way to do it. I still need people to mastermind with me because I always am in 5,000 different things are coming at me all the time. How do I price my products? When should I do this launch? Am I going to be ready for this launch? Oh, I have to get my affiliates, So like I need people to talk to think things through so I can have a plan of action. If I don't, then I have too many things on my plate. I'm trying to spin so many plates all at once, it just doesn't work. So David, I don't know honestly if I'm going to be having one in 2015, in early 2015. Just keep checking back. If you can't make this training right now, just keep checking back, man. All right, yeah, Gary, let me know if you can get through. Okay, all right. So David is asking, what time are the live trainings? So here's the deal, David. I am going to try to make it work for you guys, okay? That's the biggest aspect of this. I want to make it work for you. So right now, what I did in my last session was every Tuesday and Thursday, it was at 2 p.m. Pacific Standard. But right now, we have Monday at 11 a.m., and then we're going to have another one at some point during the week. And I can do a weekend if other people can do weekends. I can move something to a weekend to where everybody can get to it 11 a.m. on a weekend. It's the following that evening for the UKers, for the people overseas. But you have to understand everything is archived. So if you can't make all the sessions, and a lot of people can't make all the sessions, but they make most of them. If you can make most of the sessions, great. If you can't, then just look forward to the coaching, because now if you take action, now you get 2 training coaching sessions with me. So I hope that answers your question, David. Okay. Let's see if I have any other questions. And if I didn't get to your question, I'm sorry. I'm trying to get to a lot of them. Dennis opened with a style that is so often used by Toastmaster members who are winners of major speaking competitions. Yeah, it's probably true. Here's the thing, though, Abby, in regards to what Dennis did. I tend to do things a little differently. I believe that everybody should be as authentic as possible. In fact, I was thinking about writing a book called The Stutterer's Guide to Public Speaking, because I feel everybody can speak publicly. No matter what you have, no matter who you are, you can present publicly to the world, okay? And tap into your authentic voice. If you say ums and ahs, if you tend to be a little neurotic, those aren't bad things. Those are just personality traits. And it's a question of being able to tap into your proper personality traits. So, I definitely say that authenticity is better than trying to sort of fake it, because faking it just doesn't sound authentic. It's a different world now. Thanks, buddy, so much, David. Thanks for your response, Casey. Your hangouts, webinars, and online energy all rock. Thank you so much, brother. I really appreciate it. And always look forward to you in the group of EasyWebinar. So just let me know just keep connected with me and we'll talk soon. All right, let me see if there's anybody else here. Okay. All right, well, as I said, thanks everybody so much. Let's see. I think it's Lois. Is it Lois Benson? Thank you, Casey. I was able to join at the end. This is very informative, but I'm a beginner in all of the practices and putting a website or Facebook page online and wondering if you have any links or info for starters, although this is great to listen to the results on Online Spectrum. So it sounds like you're a beginner. I can definitely send you some stuff if you're a beginner. This is not for someone who doesn't have an idea for what they want to do online. This is for someone who has an idea and someone who's looking to expand on that. Okay, if you're a coach, a consultant, have an existing business, this is what our program is for. It's for you. Okay, and I just want to say thank you to everybody who came to the event. Let's see, I already answered Dennis's question. So I just want to thank everybody who came to the event, who clicked through. So Joe, Pete Gregory, thank you so much. Sonia, Mark, Wes, Abby, Craig McIntosh, Dennis, thank you. Jennifer, thank you. Musical Beginnings at Hotmail, thank you, or Musical Beginnings, thank you so much for coming. AJ, thank you. Mark Smith from HarperCollins, thank you so much for coming. RK, thank you for coming. David, PTC Physical Therapy, thank you for coming. Elaine, John, we have several more that came, but thank you guys for sticking out to the very end. I really appreciate you guys. I also really appreciate that you've clicked through. One of the wonderful things about EasyWebinar is that I can check to see who comes to the registration page, who clicks on to come to the, sorry, not the registration page, but I can see when you guys click to come through into the, onto the sales page. So thank you guys so much for clicking on there. And if you have any questions, please do let me know. And I am just about to close. It looks like I still have quite a few people on. But again, alas, as I said, I need to close this down. I think I have to go get dinner and things like that. So again, if you are ready to take action and get the bonuses, come on through right now to get those bonuses, okay? Get those bonuses right now by coming on through. And Gary is just saying, out of curiosity, Casey, can EasyWebinar use languages other than English? And absolutely it can, yes. We have localization that can be used for the custom theme, the custom template, and you can add all sorts of different languages. In fact, we have a big Brazilian market who comes through, so Portuguese market. No problem, Abby. Thank you so much for coming. No problem, Gary. Thank you. All right, Craig, I'll talk to you soon. Okay, everybody, I think that's it for me. Much love, respect to you, and I look forward to working with you. And again, as I mentioned, come on through right now to take advantage of the fast action bonus, the 30-minute session, and online broadcast, which is valued at $500. This teaches you everything you need to know about Google Hangouts and YouTube Live. So, you know, this entire package here, especially if you don't have EasyWebinar, getting LaunchStream will give you a complete system for getting EasyWebinar. You can learn about Google Hangouts and YouTube Live. This will teach you how you can then start, sorry, I don't want to make you guys dizzy. This will teach you then how you can, let me just get back here. This will teach you how you can use YouTube and Google Hangouts as a way to build your community, and then EasyWebinar as a way to sell to your community, or build your community through the power of, well, essentially build a business. That's the idea behind that. Okay, Gary, I look forward to having you come through. Let me know if you should have any questions, and I will see you later. All right, everybody, thanks again, and I will talk to you very, very soon. Let me just go in and close this event out, and then we'll be good to go. All right. Yep, everybody, go ahead and start leaving the room. I see now a few more people left. Much love to you guys, as I mentioned, and I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.